Imagine this. You walk into a room thinking it's just another normal day. But the moment the door closes, everything changes. There are no windows, no way out, just a group of strangers watching you. Someone hands you a drink. You take a sip, and within minutes, your reality begins. In Korea were being brainwashed, that enemies had discovered ways to control thoughts, erase memories, even force confessions. The question was terrifying. What if the enemy could control minds and America couldn't? So the CIA decided to find out for themselves. In 1953, under the direction of Alan Dulles, a top-secret program was approved. Its mission was simple, but deeply disturbing. Find a way to control the human mind. The program was called MK Ultra, and the man chosen to run it was a quiet chemist named Sidney Gottlieb. He didn't look dangerous, he didn't act like a villain, but behind closed doors, he was leading one of the most controversial experiments in American history. MK Ultra wasn't just one experiment, it was a network of over 100 sub-projects spread across universities, hospitals, and research centers across the United States and Canada. And here's the part that shocked the nation years later. Many of the people involved had no idea they were part of it. They weren't volunteers, they didn't sign consent forms. They were unknowingly used. The CIA wanted to test everything: drugs, hypnosis, sleep deprivation, electroshock therapy, psychological abuse, anything that could break a mind and rebuild it. One substance quickly became central to their experiments: LSD. At the time, it was a relatively new drug, and the CIA believed it could unlock secrets hidden deep inside the human brain. So they began testing it on soldiers, on prisoners, on mental health patients, even on ordinary citizens who had no idea what was happening to them. In some cases, people were secretly given LSD in bars and safe houses just so agents could observe their reactions. They called these operations safe house experiments, but there was nothing safe about them. One of the most disturbing stories involves a man named Frank Olson. He was a scientist working with the US government. In 1953, during a meeting, he was secretly given LSD by his own colleagues. He had no idea. Over the next few days, his mental state rapidly declined. He became paranoid, confused, terrified, and then, just days later, he fell from a hotel window in New York City. The official ruling at the time was suicide, but years later, his family began to question everything. Was it really suicide, or was it something else? This case became one of the biggest controversies linked to MK Ultra, because it raised a chilling possibility that these experiments didn't just affect minds, they destroyed lives. And Frank Olson wasn't the only one. Across the country, countless individuals were subjected to extreme psychological conditions. Some were kept awake for days. Others were exposed to repeated electroshock sessions. Some had their memories manipulated, or at least that was the goal. The idea was to break a person completely, then rebuild them into someone who could be controlled, a perfect subject. But there was a problem. The human mind isn't that simple. Many of these experiments failed. Subjects became unstable, traumatized. Some never fully recovered. By the late 1960s, MK Ultra began to lose direction. Results were inconsistent. Ethical concerns were growing even within parts of the government. And then, something happened that nearly erased the entire program from history. In 1973, as pressure around government secrecy increased, CIA Director Richard Helms gave an order: destroy the files. Thousands of documents related to MK Ultra were burned, gone, erased. It was as if the program never existed. But not everything was destroyed. A small number of financial records survived, and those records would later expose everything. In 1975, during the aftermath of Watergate scandal, public trust in the government was already shaken. That's when a major investigation began. The Church Committee was formed to uncover abuses by intelligence agencies, and what they found shocked America. Details of MK Ultra slowly came to light. Secret experiments, unwitting subjects, destroyed evidence. The story made headlines. People were outraged. How could this happen in a democracy? How could the government experiment on their own citizens without consent? In 1977, further hearings were held, and for the first time, CIA officials publicly acknowledged the program. But by then, most of the evidence was already gone, and many questions remained unanswered. Even today, MK Ultra is surrounded by mystery. We know it happened. We know people were affected, but we may never know the full extent. How many experiments were conducted? How many lives were damaged? How far did they really go? Those answers may be lost forever. What we do know is this: in the name of national security, lines were crossed, ethics were ignored, human lives became test subjects, and all of it was hidden from the public. MK Ultra wasn't just a secret program. It was a warning, a reminder of what can happen when power operates in the shadows. Because sometimes the most dangerous weapons aren't bombs, they're ideas.